Pokemon Day is just around the corner. So let's talk about our expectations and then like what our dream announcements would be. And basically how I'm going to go through this is our expectations. I'm going to look at last year's Pokemon Presents, Pokemon Day, whatever you want to call it. And each game they went through, there was some announcement for each one of their games. And then of course their big announcement of ZA there at the end, which at the time I thought was just Pokemon Legends Z. Didn't realize it was supposed to be an A, but we live and we learn. So, following the trend of last year, the first announcement is going to be some sort of raid event in Scarlet and Violet. Scarlet and Violet is still the most recent game to be released, so I'm sure they're going to do some sort of raid event. I don't know what that's going to be yet. We know that Walking Like Iron Leaves is going to be ending on Pokemon Day, so there's going to be some sort of announcement about the next raid event that's going to be starting that weekend or shortly thereafter. So, there's definitely going to be some sort of raid event coming to Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Now, the next game that was talked about at last year's Pokemon Day was Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go, not going to spend a lot of time on it. I'm sure they're going to do some sort of, probably a raid event there as well. Maybe add in Koraidon, Miraidon because I don't think they're available yet in Pokemon Go. I don't play as much Pokemon Go these days, so I could be wrong on that, but I could see those being added to Pokemon Go. I know these games are not the ones you guys all care about. We'll get to Legends CA toward the end, and then my own wish list for what else I'd like to see announced. Sticking with the theme of mobile games, I didn't realize how many Pokemon mobile games we have now until I was looking at last year's Pokemon Day. Next up would be Pokemon Sleep. I guess there was a teaser of something psychic coming, being as we got Raikou, Entei, and Suicune last year. I could see them doing maybe something psychic, maybe Mewtwo, Mew, something like that. Maybe add an actual, different legendary compared to the three dogs. And if it's psychic, I don't know, maybe Jirachi. Jirachi, if they want to go Gen 3, keeping from Gen 2 to Gen 3, maybe Jirachi coming. But I find that hard to believe. I feel like they would go Mewtwo for Mew first before they would jump straight to Jirachi for Pokemon Sleep. And then following Pokemon Sleep is Pokemon Masters. Pokemon Masters actually just announced that Koraidon and Miraidon were coming. So I don't expect a ton, if anything, from Pokemon Masters. Maybe just saying, hey, here's your gift for Pokemon Day. Just because they just announced, like within the last week, that Koraidon and Miraidon were coming. Actually, they might already be available in Pokemon Masters, I think, now. So, I mean, there's not going to be a whole lot to expect from Pokemon Masters. The next game that last year covered was Cafe Remix. It's another mobile game that I don't spend a ton of time on. I'll play it here and there occasionally. I have no idea what announcements they're going to make for that because they announced Koraidon Miraidon last year for Pokemon Cafe Remix. So I have no idea what to expect for this year. Maybe they add Terapagos or something from one of the DLCs. But Cafe Remix is again a mobile game that honestly I don't know how much more life it has. I'll play it here and there. I have fun when I play it, but it's not something I think about playing often. Now, last year they jumped into Unite next just because they revealed TCG Pocket. I think TCG Pocket will probably be next because it is, sticking with the trend of mobile games. TCG Pocket is our last mobile game that is currently released. So I expect some sort of mini promo pack, like Red the Mythical Island, which was what, like 1A or something. I forget how they categorized it, but I'm expecting another little island, mythical island type pack following up on our last set for, I mean, it was Sinnoh. Maybe we get something focused more around Darkrai, Manaphy, something like that. Still focus on Sinnoh, add some more EX cards, full arts, maybe some immersives, that type of thing. But I do expect Pocket to get some sort of maybe mini promo pack to help fill in between before the next set comes out. And then, as I said, Unite was next. I don't know who else they're going to be adding to Unite. I don't keep up with Unite. Unite's one I would like to get back into, but personally, I haven't played as much Unite as I would like to. I did enjoy it when it came out. I had the Firefighter Blastoise, and then I haven't played it a whole lot since then. I'll stream it here and there occasionally. But Pokemon Unite, they're going to add, more fighters to that, more characters, however you want to think about it. Maybe a new map. I think they gave us a new map last year, perhaps. So maybe there's a new map coming to Pokemon Unite, which could be cool. That could help drum up some interest for Pokemon Unite. So definitely keep your eyes peeled for that. And then the last game they covered last year was the official announcement of ZA, and we have not heard anything since. So I'm hoping they go into a lot more detail this time. Probably get the starters, and then maybe some one or two new megas, because they did tease that megas were coming back. So maybe we get one or two new megas announced or something along those lines. But CA definitely going to be a primary focus of Pokemon Day. We should get a release date as well because they just said worldwide 2025. My hope is like June. I think June would be a good release date, May, June. I don't think that's what'll happen. That's just what I would prefer to happen. I think that would be a good timing, but or even July. They've done a lot of stuff in July lately, so maybe May to July for ZA. But I'm guessing it'll probably be later in the year. Just sticking with their typical release dates is usually later in the year. I mean, Legends Arceus came out in January, but we're already past that, so we'll see when ZA comes out. My hope is sooner rather than later, but they seem to be really taking their time. The fact that they haven't given us any information since Pokemon Day last year, I'm expecting probably a later release this year. But I'm hoping Pokemon Day at least gives us starters, maybe some megas, and that release date that we're also not so patiently waiting for at this point. That covers the kind of guideline based off what was presented last year. Again, I think ZA is probably going to be starters, release date, maybe some megas. I don't know if they'll go into too much more detail than that because obviously they're going to want to keep some things, quiet as much as they can up until the release of it. But that kind of covers what is to be expected. There's probably going to be some other stuff announced that we don't expect, and that's where I want to start speculating and giving my own thoughts, wishes, all that fun stuff. Probably top request, I would love to see a new Pokemon Coliseum XD, whatever it may be. Those of you that are subscribers to the channel, I've been playing through Pokemon Coliseum. I plan to play through Pokemon XD following that, so that would be a great game to come out if they do push ZA till later this year. Maybe do a new Pokemon Coliseum game this summer. Maybe that could be the July release. But that's kind of one of the ones I would love to see. I would not be opposed to a new Pokemon Ranger game. Not sure how that would work on the Switch, but I'd be curious. Maybe just because with the Pokemon Ranger, it was the DS stylus. But if you have your Switch docked, I don't know if you would just have to use motion controls. But not everybody uses motion controls. Like I personally, other than playing Let's Go with the catch mechanic, don't really use motion controls. Maybe Let's Go is what we see. Maybe Let's Go Johto. I would not be opposed to a Let's Go Johto. I don't know who the Pokemon would be. Maybe like a Meryl and Pichu or something like that. Just kind of be the poster, the cover Pokemon for that. Teddy Ursa, maybe. But Pokemon Let's Go Johto, I would not be bad about. Pokemon Coliseum would be my preferred. Saw some people talking about Pokemon Stadium 3, which could also be really cool. Let's see, what else is there that they've done previously? They did a new Pokemon Snap. They did a new Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. I mean, they had Pokken, but I feel like Pokemon Unite replaces Pokken, if you think about it that way, in the sort of competitive battling. Yeah, there's still a lot of things Pokemon could do, a lot of things we might not expect. Maybe a Hey You Pikachu, just something totally random that they've done in the past. Pokemon Shuffle, I saw it was 10 years for Pokemon Shuffle. Maybe we get a Pokemon Shuffle soon. Who knows? There's a lot of things Pokemon could do. There could be something new that they're working on that we have no idea about. Maybe Black and White remakes. I saw people talking about Black and White remakes as well. Do we get Black and White remakes this year? I would prefer not to, but at this point, I don't know what to expect from the Pokemon Company. So, because we got BDSP, Legends Arceus within a couple months of each other, maybe they take the same route, release Black and White remakes, and then ZA. Black and White remakes hold us over for the 2-3 months before Legends ZA comes out. At this point, I really have no idea what to expect. Luckily, Pokemon Day is just a few days away. This is just my wish, like Pokemon Coliseum XD. That's top of the wish list for me. Obviously, Pokemon Legends ZA release date sooner is number one, and then Coliseum, or whatever you want to call it, XD, would be probably a close number two for that. So Pokemon Day coming up February 27th. I'll be reacting to it here on the channel. Maybe we'll go live and do a live reaction. Who knows? I hope to see you guys there. Be sure to subscribe, like, all that good stuff, and I will see you guys next time. Take care.